going on, everybody? It's Miss Faith just coming to you to do a discussion video. Today's topic will be breakage versus shedding, as you can see by the title of the video. Basically, I'm going to shed a little light on both subjects for a couple of my subscribers who asked me a few questions about what is breakage, what causes it, which ways to avoid it, and what is shedding and ways to handle it. So that's basically what this video will be about. So let's get into the video. Okay, so the difference between hair breakage and hair shedding. Basically, breakage is when your hair is separated from a point other than from your follicle. So breakage is basically if my hair, the way it is now, from root to tip, these are my strands of hair. Now, if I were to lose hair at any point in these strands, anywhere besides my roots, then that would be considered breakage. One of the major components that causes breakage is like mechanical tools that we use on our hair. When I say mechanical, I mean a brush, a comb, a hair dryer, a flat iron, whatever it is that you mechanically use to manipulate your hair. Now, most of the time, a lot of people do not realize, especially when you're natural, you really should not manipulate your hair when it's not moisturized. Now, when I say moisturized, I mean, really saturated with some type of oil or water. Most of the time, I don't comb through my hair unless it's completely saturated for the purpose of, I don't want to create any excess damage. So, most of the time, mechanical instruments, mechanical tools that you use to style your hair, like combs, blow dryers, curlers, any kind of thermal heat, and straighteners can cause damage. There is a way of getting around it. A lot of times when you straighten your hair, it causes damage. Why? Because most of the time people don't know the proper way to straighten natural hair. What you want to do first is start off with a protein treatment. I use the Afro-G treatment. They have a keratin treatment. It's a protein treatment. I normally put that in my hair maybe a day or two before I get my hair straightened. What this does is just build the hair back up. Your hair does get weakened, in between washes and conditioning. Just from, you running your fingers through it, you putting your comb through it, whatever you might do in styling your hair. It does take, a bit of an effect on it. So the keratin, well, I don't even know if they call it a keratin treatment, but I know it is a protein treatment. It helps to build the hair back up. After you do that, you want to do either a hot oil treatment or a deep condition. What this is going to do is penetrate your hair, and that is also a shield for your hair. Think about what you're getting ready to do. You're about to apply direct heat to your hair. So you want to give your hair all the defense that it can possibly get. Also, I use a heat protectant. I use the IC Fantasia heat protectant. I'm not even exactly sure what they call it, but I know that it comes in like a pink bottle. It normally sits up pretty high, maybe about that much. And it's like a light mist. And so I use that, and I also use olive oil heat protectant. It's like a hair lotion, but it doesn't say on the front that it's a heat protectant, but if you read the bag, that's where it lets you know. So that's basically what I do. I take that and I rub it in my hands, and I rub it through my hair, and I spray the IC heat protectant before I blow dry. And then after my hair is blow dried, I take it and I rub it again, and I rub it through my hair, and I take the IC Fantasia heat protectant and I spray it again. And then strand by strand, I don't normally straighten my own hair, but if I get my mom or my homegirl to straighten it for me, I normally have them go strand by strand and spraying the extra heat protectant, just so that I'm protecting not only my curl pattern, but I want to protect my hair. You never want to come out of a a good rotation of getting your hair to grow, and it's growing, and then all of a sudden it just starts breaking. Like, that's kind of heartbreaking. And you know, no girl wants to go through, oh, my hair's coming out. So that's one of the ways that I try to avoid, you know, getting my hair damaged or occurring breakage because of mechanical tools, or you know, just by manipulating my hair when it's not moisturized. Another thing is not clipping your ends. A lot of times people don't realize that your ends are really what will help grow your hair. If you have healthy ends, you'll have longer hair. And why I say this is, your hair is inevitable that your hair is going to grow. You will never be able to stop your hair from growing. It has been growing since you were a baby, and it will grow until you're old. How you can achieve longer hair is, of course, proper care. You have to wash, and you have to condition, and you have to moisturize, and you have to you know, do all of these different things in a combination, what I like to call a routine, just to get your hair on a healthy regimen, and so you know, it will respond with growth. So in clipping your ends, what you're doing is, on a daily wear and tear, you know, your hair rubs up against your clothes, it rubs up against your jackets, it's out in the heat, it's out in the cold, and these type of things take different effect. And so in clipping your ends, you're making sure that if you ever had a split end, if you're clipping your ends, you know, you're preventing it from traveling up your hair shaft. So if I have a split end and I catch it when it's here, then all the hair that I'm going to lose is just that little bit of amount. But if you do not allow, if you do not go ahead and frequently clip your ends, and when I say frequently, for myself, I only do it around maybe every 2 months. The longest I will go is 3, and the soonest I will do is 1 month. But I try to do it every 2 months, and that's just me. Some people might do it sooner, or you know, less frequently. But again, this is my hair, so that's what I do for my hair, and it works for me. But back to the point that I was making, if I catch it here, then that's just a little portion of hair that I'll be losing, opposed to catching it, you know, when it's traveled all the way up my hair shaft, and then I'm losing a great amount of hair, and we don't want that. Chemical aspects that can break the hair, chemical elements I should say, things like color, perms, and relaxers. Now 2 points I want to make. First of all, about the chemicals, they do break down the bonds in your hair, and so your hair starts off, you know, it's just really protein. Your hair is protein, and so of course when you apply, you know, if you're going to get highlights or something like that, when you apply that to your hair, it automatically breaks down and takes something away from it. Obviously, in the literal sense, you know this because it's changing the color of it. So of course it had to alter it in some type of way. But a lot of times these are the things that cause breakage. They're always to prevent that. I was relaxed one time and my hair was still long. I had color at a time and my hair was still long. You really just have to take the extra step in doing those extra treatments, doing those extra hot oil treatments, doing those extra deep conditions, you know, keeping your hair clean, washing. Well, I know I wash my hair every week, and I still try to do that even though I'm natural now. But yeah, that's the first point I want to make about the chemicals breaking down the bonds in your hair, and that's a lot of the reasons why people occur breakage from chemicals, because they do not properly moisturize their hair. The second point I wanted to make was about the perm and the relaxer. I know a lot of people are probably like, oh, well, perm and relaxer are the same thing. Actually, they're not. Perm is actually what Caucasians use, and, you know, people with naturally straight hair use to curl their hair. If you ever went into a salon and saw the process done, you would see that that's what people of the Caucasian race use to have their hair kind of like similar to ours. And a relaxer is what most African Americans and Dominicans use to take their hair from its naturally curly state to a more straight state. So it's kind of like everybody wants to switch sides. But yeah, so that was my second point.